Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go! Try 38!
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on
Still
that
first
play.
down.
Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's go! What? 90!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
No. Check! Patriot!
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a...
He's got a man, complete. The 30, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Chester Rogers, 78 yards. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. They've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say,
and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Back to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They run with Breida. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
This is Breida. Spins past him. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for the Niners. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Now it's Breida. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage loss. A little juke. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5, but still a decent ways from the end zone now on 4th and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They're going to run. It's McKinnon. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
Well, Brad, offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's go! What? Nothing! What? Nothing!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll set up to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guys are going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, that was pretty obvious. He didn't let him catch it.
Agreed, and what's hard is you make that long run downfield to try and cover it, but you got to locate the football as well.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Over.
Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. Thomas, the intended target.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Breida. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. On play action, they'll throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They run for it with Breida. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Yeah, baby. That's our ball. Our ball.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ballgame or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Let's go. What? 9.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
What? 90.
Now back to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go. What? 90.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Niners on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll toss it to Breida, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Green 39, green 30.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 49 yards. And the 49ers continue to roll. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's go.
They run a draw here on second down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're going to look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded at about the 28. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
We're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play.
Watch it now, Barney!
They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now they try the right side here. Muscles him off. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 52 yards. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined, no one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Pardon, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints get a bit closer. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Chester Rogers with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And the numbers show it, low involvement early. But since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool him a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's got the hook up to Lee. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
11 more on that one and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Marquise Lee with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. And it's up and good. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands.
Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll begin the drive with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
No, check, Patriot!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brandon Graham in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. A breakaway from Michael Thomas. Past the 20. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there on the catch and run. 84 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you, because it seems to be working pretty well.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for a loss.
And you know how you can always identify who is supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them. I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point good by Prater. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And that will shave one more off this lead. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Oh, look at the juke. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A breakaway for Michael Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints get a bit closer.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. It's Ferguson. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A big play there. 48 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
The gun, they'll look to throw, and down he goes. The 49ers get there. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll look to throw here. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Keeps himself upright. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Here we go. Grand 38.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Here's Thomas Morstead now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.